Hello. My name is Ashley Clarkson, and this is my first episode of a full bunch of episodes that I'll be making next. And today I want to talk to you about the U.S. government. And I'm really sorry that it's in, the screen's in black, but it is mandatory. I do not want anyone to know my identity, although it is traceable though, but completely, please do not do that. And if my voice sounds really weird, it's also mandatory. Really sorry about that. Um, anyway, the government. Many people have been exposing the government, especially the media, and other people. They've been exposing the government, and people are now aware of what the government is capable of doing and what the government does. So that's sort of how it is. Now, the government is a completely weird mess. How it's stationed by the executive branch, the legislative branch, and so on. I mean, all these branches cooperate together, in Congress, and they all cooperate together and make up a lot of lies that make up the U.S. And lies, that's just what make up the U.S. now. Now, I want to start talking from top to bottom, from the most powerful to the less powerful. The first is Barack Obama, the most powerful. He is serving his second term in presidency for 2013. So, in 4 more years, it's actually, there's some rumors around, but I'm going to get to that later. Anyway, first of all, we all know that in many sites that we all know that Barack Obama is an expert in artificial manipulation. And, this is more than that. He's a good persuader. And he was actually trying to persuade Congress to actually, attack Syria. And that's actually, that was a few weeks ago, and there's still some crumb left behind about that. But the Syria versus USA conflict right there, and the chemical weapons and that was the army post that was there, the chemical weapons. It was a terrible tragedy. It's kind of ironic because Russia has actually been sending spy ships to the Eastern Mediterranean. But anyway, Syria, which is actually in Russia, is actually willing to cooperate with the USA during this time, trying to ban chemical weapons from Syria. And it was kind of surprising how they would just simply give up like that, Russia. And that's just Russia. And it's more than just that. You've got so many other things, and Barack Obama is very shady, tremendously shady in a way. Shady connections. He has very shady connections, which would explain a lot of things, and I mean that quite literally. It would explain so much. It just explains so many things. For example, it would explain why he sent billion-dollar fighter planes to Egypt. Well, there's something else which is here in YouTube. I'm not sure what it's called though, but I mean, there's something about how Barack Obama might actually have a shapeshifter bodyguard in the CIA Secret Service. And it's amazing. Supposedly he's a reptilian or so, and reptilian shapeshifter, which was just incredible. And there's actually a video about it, and it was just wow. I was surprised because I was really surprised. He was this bald guy, and it was just crazy. And
Well, good morning, everyone.
During Barack Obama's speech at 2012 APAC Policy Conference at the Washington Convention Center, the camera spotted a very odd individual, who may be either with the US Secret Service, or with the Israels, and could be a strong evidence of a shapeshifter alien humanoid working for the powers that be, caught in a high-definition video during an event of the Zionist cabal.
4 years ago, I stood before you and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct. It is non-negotiable. That belief has guided my actions as president.
Even though at first sight he looks just like the average Secret Service spook, a series of odd features on his head, face, plus a very strange behavior and creepy movements, suggest something else.
Security is sacrosanct. It is not
But due the low lighting in half the amphitheater, he would pass unnoticed or regarded as a normal human being by the crowd, and everybody who watched this video, if it was not by the camera of the Jewish News One, which caught him from another angle apparently shape-shifting into some sort of reptilian non-human form.
Back since, drawing intense criticism from some pro-Israel groups who have claimed he is
Disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change. His ears, his nose, his chin, cheekbone, jaw and mouth are no longer looking human at all. Matter of fact, now he has a blatant non-human face. So what just happened? Did his shape-shifting device fail during Obama's speech, in the middle of an amphitheater crowded with people? Is he an actual reptilian humanoid? Is he one of the Anunnaki? Is he a tall grey bio-android, or what? Is that video evidence that the Illuminati elite is in bed with at least one ancient extraterrestrial race, hidden in plain sight, and pulling the strings of mankind?
Things like the fact that, so many other things that's going on. The fact that they actually spy through anything that has camera, audio, or any piece of technology. The government can actually spy on you with those pieces of technology. That also actually happened in the 9/11, and I'll get to that point later on. And mad 9/11, terrible tragedy. So sorry for the people that lost their families there. Back to the point. All these things, but this is just political here. We've got economics blowing off. The Times Square and all those things, and this is just the beginning of the end, and I mean that quite literally. Because I'm quoting Robert Oppenheimer right now, and I will say this to Obama, and as me being Obama, and you know what? This is what I said to Obama. Obama, you have become death, the destroyer of all worlds. And I mean no offense to him. I actually thought on his first time, I actually thought he was a great president. But now that I'm looking at reality right now, I feel terrible. And that's just how it is. If you thought that USA, great future, I'm gonna live happily ever after, I'm sorry for destroying your dream, but it's not, because there's a reality. There's a simple reality, and this is the reality that we live in, and that reality is the reality we will always live in. And there's more things, like, unfortunately, it is now becoming very difficult and almost about impossible to be economically dependent in America today, now. And it's not just that. It's a whole bunch of conspiracies between a whole bunch of branches around there. You've got conspiracies about the CIA, Homeland Security, NSA, and you've also got theories about the IRS, and that's what shocked me most. The IRS is actually, it's currently, pinpointing the small business owners, and actually they're pinpointing them, and what they're trying to do is that they're trying to take them out of business. And this is just like sharecropping, exactly when slavery just ended, and it was sharecropping, and the slaves worked for the landowners, and every single time they want supplies or anything, the slaves were hard workers, but they ended up with less money, landowners, billions and billions of dollars, and that's just how it is today, now. The landowners are the US government, slaves are us. U.S. citizens, and that's an awful price to pay right there. You know, hardworking people, and you know, it's not just that. I mean, so many things that the government's constantly doing. And back to the point of Obama. Obama was actually willing to preserve the military and while cutting social service programs such as Obamacare and so on, and is actually doing that currently right now, 2013, and this is just shocking. This is a shockwave coming right through. You know, and you've got so many other things, you know, and you know, things that don't have no explanation. And the fact is, you know, the NSA, Homeland Security, they check up on you constantly because they think you're a terrorist. You know, and it's just, why would they do that? Why would they think you're a terrorist? That doesn't even make sense. But that happened ever since 9/11, and it all occurred. Now they can check up on you through the internet, through anything, and any server is not secure anymore. That's basically why the screen's black. Once again, sorry about that. Anyway, it's all of this, and you know, preserving the military and cutting off social service programs. That's just awful. And Obamacare was, you know, supposed to be Obamacare, but now it's going down. I mean, what can I say right there? What can I say? You know, it's not just that. It's so many other things. So many other things. You know, and that's something I want to touch upon. So many other things. Let's see. The fact that the government is not economically supported now. The U.S. government was, and may I that it was as in past tense, and you know, was #1 economically supported and everything. The business was perfect, economics was just intact. But now it's like in the list of 30s, and China is like blowing up with dollars, billions and billions of dollars. And you know, you'll notice many products here in the U.S. Many of them are made from other countries, especially China, and less of them are made in the U.S. and some of them somewhat are made from other countries as well. And you know, that's just the topic right there. You know, and it's just, that's just it. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I'm really running out of time right now. But I'm making a second episode. There's also, I'll continue this on. I'll talk about more things, more topics. Fortunately, with more time. I'm sorry I don't have the bibliography